Hey everyone. So, I thought I would be my good old usual sticky big self because there were all these cars driving up and down my street. And then I realised that obviously what was happening is they're having an open home, like, showing for the rent for the house next door where the people got police escorted out, right? 3/4 weed, tiny bit of tobacco, definitely better than the fucking cigarettes I keep stooping to. I tell you what, just a little side note to myself, I guess, for my second video of the day of Monday the 6th of March 2023. So there was heaps of people that have shown up. All you got to do is like read anywhere in Australia at the moment what the rental crisis is like, and you'll know what the hell I'm talking about. But I've obviously been in there heaps of times. I've lived here for over 5 years. So, oh my god, I put my fucking joint down for 1 second. Oh, no, dang it. I was like, I think it rolled down the side of the house, and then it was behind me, and then I went to get it, and it rolled down the side of the house. So, what does that mean? It means I should probably stop smoking joints and keep going with the unit crap. Probably shouldn't call it unit crap when it's costing me $888 fucking dollars. Just for this subject, I might add. Oh, it's another one of those shitty videos, guys. If only I knew how to bloody use the camera I've got correctly. I can use the camera. Can't figure out how to get it up for all of you lot to see, though. Though I have to call my internet company about this whole something to do with the, like, however the NBN works. I've no actual idea. Can't believe I just did that. Oh, I really hate those words. Cannot believe. I fucking believe everything that happens these days because the world is insane. What am I trying to say, people? Right, so open home, next door, for rent. I wanted to know what they were asking for it. So I just went out and asked someone coming out. Lovely lady. What am I trying to say? See, fuck me. It's no wonder I've been at university 7 years. Let me put this phone stand down because the whole shaking thing is still happening. Starting to think it's my fault. I mean, not starting to, but I don't know. Anyway, I need to focus, right? My poor little ADHD brain, now that I'm starting to literally learn, I have no idea what the fuck is happening, so I have to just keep teaching myself, right? Because even though I'm all over the track right at this moment, I did have a realization, which was I beat fucking Ice's ass, or I didn't let Ice beat me, however you want to put it. I kicked Ice's ass. Yeah, that sounds right. I'm sure shit not going to let this diagnosis of ADHD and whether I've got it fucking professionally diagnosed or not, it's 100% given I have this fucking dyslexia in both reading and writing. Like I said, I've known it my whole life, just didn't know what the fuck it was. Yeah, now that I'm aware, it's just like, anyway, so aware, people. If only you could just fucking make it all going from the awareness to the actual feeling and the action. They're not all instantaneous, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, back to this. They're asking for $350 a week. Straight away the woman was like, it's not worth it. She's like, there's grass growing in between the floorboards, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm aware it's like that at my house. Obviously I just said I've been here for a long time, so they didn't ask me or anything what my place is like. I was like, they just keep selling it out from me, under me, and I just keep hoping I'm here. After everything that's happened though, I actually am feeling a lot more secure in my home. I feel pretty good right now and feel like I will be for some time. So that's something. But there was someone else coming out as I was finishing talking to the other person, and then he sort of joined the end of our conversation, and then when I walked away, they continue to talk about the grass and the plants growing through the fucking floors, which, I mean, let's face it, 350 is a lot when you're like a family or a single person or whatever you might be. But it's even more when you've got fucking plants growing through the ground, yeah? Inside. Anyway, it's probably a really good thing my joint rolled down the side of the house because it's hitting me. And I'm in the process of putting all of my notes together because I still have all the hope in the world that I can stay sane and up to date, because, let me think rationally. Thankfully, for whatever reason, this unit chair has never used an online Zoom webinar before. So the whole structure of it was totally different and threw all of us off. So again, we have the group chats. They just continue to get made as we join them and depending on what unit we're on. So today's webinar, for example, there was no chat function. We couldn't see the mics or the cameras. Like, there was just a whole totally different viewing thing, I guess. And that's when he was like, I'm like, he goes, I've never done this before, so he's all gonna have to like tell me if shit's not working or going right or whatever it might be. And again, no cameras, no mics, no chat room. The only way we could do that, I didn't use the function myself, was there was a Q&A option where you could send a question through and then he could read, like he could reply to it out loud to the rest of us. But none of us could see it, and like we literally going through class and he's like, okay, so there's a couple of buttons here and there, I'm going to try pushing them and I need you to tell me through this Q&A if you can see it or not. So that was fun. He also said it was the most content heavy week this week, which means the most hardest stuff to get our head around basically is this week, and it'll be a lot better moving forward. It is obviously the first day of week 1 today. Wait, what the fuck is the time? There's a seminar starting in 6 minutes that I actually think I'm gonna watch because I got nothing else to do and makes sense, I guess. So yeah, I am not going to campus, as I've said, for this unit. I love doing what I do and I can talk perfectly fine the way I am. I, on the other hand, absolutely cannot deal with being put on the spot about basically anything, because as soon as I'm put on the spot, it doesn't matter what it's about. My brain just goes, I'm out, and shuts the door. And I'm left standing, sitting, looking like a blithering idiot, which is never fun for anyone, even someone like me who openly says there's so many things in my videos that would make hours of bloopers. Anyway. Right, Liv, get to it. I have got all the notes, like I've said, from my storage that I found that I have had for a long time. There are a couple of weeks where the titles are slightly different, but based on the fact everything's the same, otherwise it's pretty, like, it's usable is what I'm basically saying. But the point of explaining the unit chair, the teacher today in the class, is that normally all the weekly learning objectives are available from week 0, but they don't usually post the actual lecture slides until the end of the week when like all the lectures have been, and yet for whatever reason every single week's lecture slides are already available. So I'm downloading and printing my way through them. 6 slides to a page, nice and simple, because I've got the other one. So I'm putting all of them together so that each week I've already got everything I need. Plus, on top of that, I've got my professional note takers sending me the actual notes from my class and my seminar. So provided I actually adult, which I think I'm feeling a lot better about doing, truthfully, having this whole fucking hell, I keep thinking about, and this is spoiler alert, if you haven't seen The Good Place, or if you're watching The Good Place on Netflix or whatever, tune out for the next few minutes because I'm going to spoil the ending of it, yeah? But if you've seen it and you've watched the very last part of it, and they finally in the good place, and all the people in the good place are just sort of like, oh yeah, and it's like the greatest minds of all of time in this good place, really unable to think of anything. And it's because they haven't had to think of anything in so long. And I can't stop thinking about the fact that I've just sort of gone so far within that I've kind of gone too far within, to the point where I have started like relying on other people for things that I know I'm actually perfectly capable of doing because I've done it before. Like, I was that person people came to for help. I could research and figure anything I wanted out. I'm actually really clever when I try. It really is this being in a fucking like situation or experience or circumstances, whatever the hell it is, that's tripping me up. Because like I said, until I ended up in this situation of being totally isolated while trying to do this, while having no structure and all of it around me, and literally being left to my own devices like a small child, I've kind of just become one. So yeah, I really do need to take back the reins, I guess, so to speak, and be like, I can fucking do this. Not saying I'm not going to ask for help, because that's obviously a given. Like, I am who I am. It's like every time I get mad and I say I'm never going to trust someone ever again, and then I let the cleaning lady stay after 10 minutes of meeting her. It is who I am, you know? But I'm not dumb. I will clarify on that one, yeah? It was my fuck up with the woman and what I did. I can be a nasty bitch when that person of me, that version of me, kicks in. Maybe I might do tomorrow's seminar. And see, it already sounds like I'm making excuses, but technically my seminar is on Friday at 1 p.m. So, you know. And I really do want all the notes in front of me, because it doesn't matter. I am old school. I'm going to keep them forever. And I just don't have the brain power to try and do it all typing. Anyway. What was I saying? Yes, my brain. I need to snap myself back into reality, because it really, really hit me yesterday while doing my housework, just how far out of reality I've been, especially since I haven't been able to stop thinking about a couple of the things that were brought up in therapy. Brought up might come across wrong. The story I told about what happened on Monday and why I fell apart and why it all happened was the version that happened inside of my head. But I told the version inside of my head to my therapist, and I was still in that she was wrong, I was right, why'd it have to happen state? And I watched myself back saying all of that, and was, in all honesty, hand on heart, boss is heart, fucking confused. Beyond anything else, I was so fucking confused, because I was like, it doesn't even make any sense, Olivia, because how did you get from that to fine to lunch? There's a disconnect. And it's like, obviously, if I'm the common denominator in all of these things, I'm the problem. I know that. I can see that. Yeah? Promise you all, I don't like being that. That version of me isn't fun for anyone. Promise. It's not fun for me. I'm trying to heal myself, because nobody actually wants to be like that. I promise you all. Alright? If you're at a point in your life where you are like that and you think you want to be like that, I promise you, I've been there, I know what it's like. I share the way I share because my darkness is fucked. Yeah? But I truly believe at our core, all of us want to do the right thing, but honestly probably feel like they can't, or why bother? Like my what the fuck do I give a fuck for person kicks in and drives me insane all the goddamn time. We've all got one. But yeah, I don't know. I guess what am I trying to say? And I said that a lot. I was so confused because according to Ellie, the part I reacted to was the end of a sentence. I have to remember to look at the camera when I make these because I watch myself back and I'm like, for fuck's sake, woman. Yeah, it didn't have to happen, and it wouldn't have happened, what happened on Monday when I met her, if I had just stopped, breathed, and then asked her to repeat herself. That actually would have solved everything. And I can't help but wonder if that's probably been the case for a lot of stuff in my life, yeah? But yeah, the other thing I noticed and hadn't really given any actual thought to is how I talk about the fact that I no longer have sex because it just fucks with my head more than anything else, truth be told. But I used to have a lot, yeah, like it was my goal, let's face it, if I'm really honest with everyone, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Thursday, depending, you know, while I wasn't obviously in relationships, I've only really been in one real relationship, and that was with the man who I basically forced into being my partner because I needed a ready-made family at 19 and he was 28 and had a kid. I would say Mr. X and I had a relationship, but that's a whole different kind of thing. So, yeah, no. Anyway, I've had a lot of sex, I think is what my point is trying to be. And I look at the fucking nerve thing. Like, I'm one of the women out there who actually am very lucky, didn't know it was a real thing that some women couldn't have orgasms through actual, like, intercourse. So I am sorry for all of you out there if that is you. But not only have I stopped having sex, I sort of just stopped everything, I think, I've stopped everything for a long time. It's been ages since I regularly sort of help myself by releasing myself, you know, having an orgasm, endorphins, happy, good, sleepy time. Like, it was one of my biggest things before I met Mr. X. Well, and what in this world beats having an orgasm? So, you know, there was only one thing I found, and that was true unconditional love. But again, not for now. But, yeah, I really thought about it, and then I thought about the fact that it was so random when I just was having that day where I didn't see my friend. Instead, I got mad and cried and faked and got off and talked about it with my therapist. And then I was like, really giving it thought. And last night, while writing a post, the funniest things happen while I write stuff, I reckon, even when I do this, but I'm not sure where I'm at today, so I'm going to wrap this up. But yes, last night while writing a post, I decided it'd be fun to give myself a little wee challenge because I enjoy challenging myself, and I haven't really done one like that I can honestly think of off the top of my head, except since the sober 2018, I guess, except for starting this whole daily vlogging thing, and that's now at day 431 part 2, so, or 32, 432 I think it is today. Anyway, to sum up this video that's already been going for like 20 minutes now, is I've challenged myself to having an orgasm every day for a week, starting last night. Technically I've had 2 days, because, you know, I was still awake at 1:30 and 2 o'clock in the morning. So I've actually had quite a decent amount, if I'm really quite truthful, in a very short amount of time. Maybe that's why I'm feeling bouncy today. I don't know. Anyway, that's my challenge for myself every day until Sunday at least. So it'll be fun to see how this little experiment goes. So yeah, till later.